fans, Dominic from the Central Coast of Australia here. Full time tonight at Dean Court, AFC Bournemouth 5, yes 5, Swansea City 0. What a game that was, and what a contrast if you look at the last 45 against Liverpool, where we conceded 4 goals, and we go to the first 45 against Swansea and we've scored 5. So, brilliant turnaround. Goals in order were to Lloyd Kelly, of all people, Alex Scott, Louis Sinistera, David Brooks, Dominic Sirio. So, great performance all round. Couldn't fault anyone out there on the pitch. Man of the match has to go to David Brooks for me. He needed that performance more than anyone. A lot of people, including myself, were calling for him to go out on loan to a championship team to get some experience and minutes. And a lot of people also were saying if he starts against Swansea, this is his probably last chance, because we're still in the middle of the transfer window. It's his last chance to really take a cup game with both hands and put on a show, because he has been a bit off the mark lately. I mean, you look at him in the first 45 against QPR, he didn't do very well. Look at him when he came on against Liverpool. He had one chance, yes, to be fair, but he butchered it, and that really should have been a goal for him. So 2 assists in the first 10 minutes and got his own goal later in the first half to round out the performance. So yeah, he's my man of the match. Everywhere else you look on the pitch in a Bournemouth shirt, everyone did well. Great to see Lloyd Kelly back in and scoring a goal, which he doesn't score many of. And I think he's the second defender this season, the first being Senesi, to score for us in competition games. So correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think they're the only 2. And then you look at Travis. I mean, he didn't get much praise from what I've seen post-match, but he was unreal. It would have been very easy for him to switch off in the second half when we were up 5-0 and let a couple of goals in that very easily could have been goals, but he pulled off a couple of miraculous saves. And 5-0 looks much better for a goalkeeper than it does 5-2 or 5-1 or anything, to be fair. So, yeah, really, really exciting stuff to watch. Everyone out there, I mean, Alex Scott, what an absolute baller. And that midfield 3 of Cook, Christie and Scott is just something else. So exciting to watch. But yeah, we're through to the next round. First team in the hat, through to the last 16. So hopefully we draw against a good team and on to West Ham next week. But yeah, that's all from me. I'll leave you guys to it, and up the Cherries.
Captain Kirk and fellow Cherries Red Army viewers. 5th round. 2 more games and it's Wembley. I think that would be my preferred option this season, rather than this talk of Europe. Mid-table, a safe mid-table place is good. A cup run and a Wembley appearance would be good. I think we haven't got enough for Europe next year. So I think let's build on that this time round. We've got depth, but not to sustain a European run next year. I think that's a bit unrealistic. A cup run is so doable. Excuse me, I've been talking to myself while I was... actually, I wasn't watching the game. Despite what the AFCB site said, it wasn't available in Italy on DAZN, the DAZN channel. So I had it in the company of Willow, Chris Temple, and an Italian pizza, of course. When in Rome, why not? I burnt the pizza, which I thought was a bad omen. But it turns out I should make sure I burn the pizza before West Ham next Thursday. Let's see. Anyway, some pluses from the game. The scoreline, 5-0. David Brooks was the biggest plus. There's been murmurings, hasn't there, recently, about whether he's ever going to reach the highs and the promise that he had before the diagnosis. But I think Iraola's man management, giving him the captaincy, giving him his head to play in the game where the opposition was actually pretty weak, feeble. We didn't expect them to be that poor, I don't think, but they were. And he, 2 assists, a goal, man of the match, fantastic. You know, I don't think we should be loaning him out. I think that's done a tremendous amount of confidence for him and the team as a whole. Great to see Kelly put in a good shift there today. What else was there positive? 5 different names on the score sheet was great. That's always a good plus. Taking Dom off was good. In fact, all the substitutions were good and clever for, preserving some tired legs for the Hammers next week. Now, but the team, Scott, just incredible as well. Midfield, the right back stuff is jinxed this year. So whether we can get someone in the last few days of the transfer window, I don't know. West Ham is going to be tough. They're pretty good at home. They've now got Calvin Phillips, so that's a bit of a worry because he's on a bit of bat. He may just find that the hammers suit him. David Moyes was watching tonight. Whether he saw much, I don't know. But anyway, great night.
Good morning, Cherries fans from Melbourne, Australia. The full-time whistle has just gone at Dean Court, and it was an enjoyable, comprehensive 5-0 win against Swansea. Before I get into the game itself, I just wanted to echo the sentiments of those who provided videos after the Liverpool game. Just wanted to offer my thoughts and condolences to Jaden Anthony and his family. I hope they're doing okay during this really, really tough time. And it was good to see Dom provide that tribute to Donna after he scored that 5th goal. Moving into the game, obviously we needed to start strong today. I think after the last couple of cup games against Swansea in the EFL Cup and QPR in the previous round of the FA Cup, we didn't need it. We didn't want to have to rely on our heavy hitters coming on and bailing us out of jail this time. And I think Andoni recognised that and declared his intent from the off, naming a very strong lineup. I think other than maybe 2 or 3 players who are available, everybody who would start in a full strength team did start. There was another opportunity for David Brooks with the captain's armband to really stake his claim for a place and demonstrate to the club and the supporters what he can do. And boy, did he show it right from the off. That early set piece, some quality from the left-hand side, and a finish from Lloyd Kelly that was out of this world, an absolute worldie. Top bins, great start, and it set the tone for the rest of the game. It wasn't a few minutes after when Brooks was put through on the right-hand side again, baited the defender to come at him, and he went round him with ease and set up Alex Scott for that second goal. 2-0 within 10 minutes. Couldn't have asked for much more. 3 after 15, why not? Swansea playing out from the back, playing right into our hands again. Scott taking the ball and feeding Sinistera, who coolly and calmly finished that into the bottom right-hand corner. And then it was more of the same. The first half we didn't want to end. There was that... 3 became 4. Brooks with some good closing down pressure, and then Dom was able to feed him and put him through, and he got his well-deserved goal to accompany his 2 assists earlier on. Dom obviously seeing 4 goals go in and none for him, obviously wanted to get in on the act, and Sinistera set him up perfectly for that 5th. So yes, definitely one of the best first halves we've seen at Dean Court for a long, long time, and sort of hoping going into the second half that maybe it could have been a Birmingham 7-8 9-0 game. Alas, it wasn't to be. The clinicality that we showed in that first half deserted us in that second half. But it was a good opportunity to see some players who haven't been getting some game time. Seeing Gavin Kilkenny, Milos Kerkez coming back from injury, Dom Sadie coming on for the last 10 minutes. So it was good to see some of those players. Unfortunately, did suffer a bit of an injury setback with James Hill. Hopefully it's not too serious, because we don't want to be looking for a 4th choice right back. Although it's the FA Cup, so Lewis Cook gets to try out a new position and did quite well at right back, I thought. But obviously we want him in the centre of midfield going forward. But yeah, absolutely no complaints from a comprehensive 5-0 win. And the only negative is that it's happened on a Thursday night or a Friday morning, so there's no football for the rest of the weekend. But yes, obviously going into the next few games against West Ham, Forest and Newcastle, the confidence can only be sky high after that. And hopefully there's going to be more performances like that. So hope you have a good weekend, and up the Cherries.
Better performance. Bournemouth taking a win in the 4th round of the FA Cup, 5-0 over Swansea City at the Vitality Stadium. I couldn't have asked much more from them. I'm very happy with that performance. At half-time it was 5-0, and then at the end, obviously, just rested our starters, still managed to keep the clean sheet, which is good to see. Alex Scott, our star boy, he played an amazing game. He was dominant in midfield. They couldn't control him. And David Brooks, he was my man of the match. He had the assists for the first 2 goals. And then after that, thought that's not enough, so he went and scored his own, which is pretty bloody good. Travers, he didn't have to do much in goals, but he made a few couple good saves. I mean, what are you going to do? He didn't have much chances to make saves or do anything, but when he needed to, he stepped up. We're on to the round of 16. We're 2 wins away from playing at Wembley Stadium, which, absolute dream. I would love to see that for the boys, for the fans. It's just a great chance. A lovely tribute by Dom Solanke to Donna, who is Jaden Anthony's mother, who unfortunately passed away this week. It's always tough to see that, death in the community, so prayers for Jaden and credit to Solanke for that. Kelly found the net, which again, very good to see. Sign the contract, Kelly, please. Well, we look next. We've got West Ham, Forest, Fulham. West Ham away, Forest home, and Fulham away. Probably should be getting a win there at least. One of those should be wins, minimum. It will prove if we're legit. If we can find results in all 3 of those games, well, I'm saying Conference League is still a possibility majorly. We're going to need to do it maybe without Hill. James Hill went down in the game with an ankle injury, it appeared. Apparently went out of the stadium on crutches, which is never good to see. It means he's probably going to be out for a bit. Again, we don't know. West Ham game is coming up pretty close though, so it would be a quick turnaround if he could play that. I'd like to thank Kirk for this international program. I really like getting this chance. Yeah, come on you Cherries.